on my channel, Prairie Scraps. I also go live over on my business page on Facebook at Prairie Scraps as well. So I welcome you. I'm here in Idaho, and actually this morning I was on a live event where it was trash to treasure. And so I was on for an hour, and unfortunately we still cannot get the computer working. So I thought I'd come back and kind of show you the follow up, what I made, and then continue to accessorize what I made. So over there, I took some trashed shoes because they were so dirty when I got them at the thrift store, but they were Vans, and I got them for like $3 or $4 at a thrift store like a year ago. They've been sitting in my little camper here for a while because I had this idea to go ahead and paint them. I put some stuffing in there. Didn't really help me. To use the transfer, and I couldn't wait to try this Tiffany Thiessen transfer out because it's kind of like a random pattern, and I figured I would do it. So I kind of tried to stay in. You can still see a little bit of the stain. There were stains on it, and usually with canvas tennis shoes, you can buy them and wash them in the wash machine, which actually to me makes them more appealing because then you're getting a brand new clean pair of shoes. But for some reason, I don't know what this yellow stuff was. I could not get it off. I tried like 3 or 4 washes with stain remover and still could not get it off. So I didn't want to throw them away or redonate them because they're my size and they're Vans. So I thought I would revive them by painting them. And I used the new Tiffany Thiessen full bloomin' transfer, and you could see it's kind of, that's all I use. That's the only portion I use to do all of this on my tennis shoes. So this is what I did. Here's one shoe. You could see I actually taped off the back side, if you were wondering, to do that because I wanted to stay in that little section there. And if they have definitely has little imperfections. I have some, like smeared together purple and pink. It's okay. They're a pair of shoes that might have been thrown out if somebody hadn't donated them to the thrift store, as well as, hey, who doesn't love a new look? Oh, and I got a little extra purple there. I've tried to wash it off. I may also experience, so this is kind of an experiment. You could take brand new canvas shoes if you wanted, but how fun is it to take a pair of shoes from the thrift store and give them a new life? So today I want here on YouTube, I wasn't quite done. Actually, during the hour, I got the front done. So just to give you an idea, I just took my time, wrapped the transfer, excuse me, transfer around and just painted little by little, just wrapping piece by piece, pressing it down, making sure that it was done. So, and then I taped up around the stitching here. You could do the whole shoe if you wanted to. You could do it all in one color, which might be easier than trying to get the pink and purple, and a little less wild. I don't even know what I'm going to wear this with. Pink is my favorite color, but I wanted to do 2 colors. I thought really hard about doing a blue that I had. This is Dream Car Pink and Perfect Purple. So anyway, those are the colors we did. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think they turned out good. See, it's not all perfect. There's like little pieces where maybe I went over. When it got around here, I just wiped it off. You could tape it if you preferred. There's even little nicks and stuff here. I think it's okay. It adds to the character. Just a pair of tennis shoes. And really, who keeps their white tennis shoes clean anyway? Hello, Cody. Hello, DTI Queen and Christopher. Thank you so much. Make sure that you have subscribed to my channel. Hit that little notification button so you know when it's going. So anyway, I was thinking about ordering those ribbon shoelaces to go in the shoes because I took these out to do my project. But I was wondering if my ink could be used on here with a little bit of water and kind of water it down and paint. I'm going to try painting my shoelaces. So we're going to try it. This is our ink. I'm going to put you down here. I know it's really hard to see here. Well, maybe I could turn it over. This is kind of I keep a piece of cardboard. Oh yeah, this is better. You'll be able to see it better. All right, so I've got my Chalkology ink. It is water soluble. I'm sorry, it's just going to be kind of a weird angle here. And we're going to give it a try. So these shoelaces also were through the laundry this as many times. The ends are going to stay white because I don't think I can get it under there. But what I think I'm going to do is just go ahead and use a little tray and spritz some water in it. And we are going to work on seeing if we can get like a watered down, just kind of watercolor version of this because I want them to match perfectly, right? And by using, and pink is my favorite, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. And like I said, this is a total experiment. Who knows how it's going to turn out? I don't know. I don't know how. This is probably going to be a really big mess. So I'm just taking like a really watered down version of it. And I'm just going to watercolor the shoelaces. Isn't that funny? It feels kind of weird to be doing this. And I don't even know if I'm going to. I could go back with the purple and do the purple too. I don't even know. I haven't totally decided. Our ink is non-toxic, which is great. And you can get my links down below, and you can also see my finished goods. You can purchase them. I ship out any of my finished goods that I have listed there. And if you see something you like or have some questions, I'm happy to help you. Thank you so much, Christopher. I appreciate that. I also have a membership there, and that just helps me like make these projects. That just, so if you'd like to be a part of that every single month, I also do on occasion, it's not like a regular thing, but a couple times a month I do try to release something first to my members before it goes out to everybody in the public. So I can already see this is just going to be like, I don't know. We're just making this up. It's not necessarily going to be the neatest looking solid color, but I'm not really looking for that because they're shoelaces. I just want them to sort of match. And you could go back in and put, you know, if you did 2 colors or whatever, do those too. I actually thought about doing the shoes in all black. I was going to do like and I think I'm just going to have to do more shoes. I've seen a lot of people doing their shoes. We have a new Snoopy or Peanuts line. I've seen them doing that. This is the flowers that I used. Let me put those out here so you can get more of a look if you come on. Let's see if we can get those in there just a little bit. So you can see how this is going to match up. This is from the Tiffany Thiessen line. And she designed these for us to go in her line. I love this transfer. It is so much fun. It does press my ability. Well, I love anything patterns. So patterns are my thing. I love using patterns in backgrounds. I love using them. This is just a little messy project here. But once they're done, I will let these dry for 24 hours and then heat. Oops, that was way dark. That was way more than I wanted to use. So like I said, I'm just trying to get these, and I am going to spritz right on that and see how that works. That might also help to kind of spread it around. And part of the reason I'm kind of testing this out is I also use our inks to make embroidery patterns for myself. And we made a couple on some thin fabric yesterday and found out that it actually it was kind of a disaster. The pattern looks okay, but then it leaked throughout. I don't know why, if it was just like a thinner sort of ink that it was too thin or the fabric's too thin. It started wicking out. So it has this nice clean pattern, but then it sort of like watercolored out from it. So I'm thinking about doing the background in a watercolor to kind of cover the fact that I boo-booed on it. So stay tuned for that. That's my next project. I was trying to make some patterns for doing embroidery on with our transfers. And I love the fact that I could just use the ink. I heat set it and we're good to go. And you could even wash it if you wanted. So it would even work on like t-shirts and things. You could, embroider your t-shirts. So a little bit more water here. A little bit more of our ink. This was a special ink that was out every month we have like a color of the month, either paste or ink. We more than not, it's an ink, or it's a paste that we have, but this maybe it was February, I think. February it was Dream Car, which is a beautiful color. And if you get it too dark, you can just water it down. So what I was thinking about doing with those patterns that I tried to make, or the, the fabric I was trying to make for doing embroidery on, I think what I'm just going to do is go in and see, this is just going to match perfectly with my shoe. Isn't that nice? But a little bit lighter color, not so bright. You could do brighter if you wanted. It's up to you. You can just, do whatever you want. I'm definitely going to have pink hands after this. So anyway, once it's all heat set, I'll just take it to the iron and put a piece of parchment paper over it. I don't know if you really, other than it might stick a little to your, there we go. I want it to kind of look like they're tie-dyed. So, and I think they're like tie-dye-ish looked and, watercolored. So there, it's the same color. What a great way to like, I don't have to use any dye, like in my washing machine. I'm always afraid to use dyes, to actual fabric dye and dye the whole thing, because I just, like a whole shirt or sweatshirt or something, it just seems so overwhelming to me. I don't know. I'm trying to cover up. There are a couple places where the shoelaces go through. They kind of got dirty where the holes are in your shoes. There we go. And I'm just going to leave that to dry because we want it to. Thank you so much for coming in, saying hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Have you ever like painted your shoes or thought to paint your shoes? I know, when I was I was younger, my grandma she did Norwegian rose mauling. And so she went and did a bunch of us. She started making herself some rose mauled shoes, and then she made me a pair. I was so excited. I wore those things until I was like, I am afraid to like, but she would use regular oil paints on them, and then she would clear coat them with paint, clear coat. And that was kind of, they were so beautiful because she would paint all these flowers all over. She kind of used it as her practice sessions on her rose mauling. So I still have them. They're in my hope chest. So unfortunately, none of my I don't know if I would let my girls, I actually think I had a pair for my my oldest daughter. She had a pair too. I maybe need to look through my old stuff. I need to sort through all the stuff I'm saving for my kids so that, do you guys do that? Like, I don't remember what I'm doing. I remember I was trying to find all my wedding things from my wedding, and I thought they were all in my hope chest when my daughter was getting married, and I was trying to pull them all out for her, and I could not find my cake knife. I need to tell her this. I need to confess. I finally found them, but now she's been married like 5 years. I finally found my cake knife and server from my wedding. It was tucked away. I have like this keepsake box that's, keeps everything, and I had put it in there. So I just didn't remember where I had put it. So I kept it. I keep everything. Problem with keeping everything is that if you're a keeper, you keep so many things sometimes that you forget where you put them. And the reason I'm trying to get like both sides of these is that I want to make sure that, if you put them through the loops, they're going to be on both sides. So I know this isn't very like entertaining, but it does really open up. Like you could do hair ribbons, you could, and with the ink, it's going to be permanent. So that's kind of the nice thing about it. I'm just going to like kind of help it along here. And I think the fabric, if you got it wet, it would just be easier to get it painted because it spreads easier. But like I said, I'm trying to also make it look a little bit, that looks almost like a really, oh, I think I picked up some paint from the cardboard. I had some paint in here. So underneath this pink color, this is not ink, so it's not permanent at all. And it wouldn't be permanent because I didn't heat set it anyway. So I'm just trying to get both sides of the laces. And like I said, I'll use a small iron, like a heat press type of iron on the shoes once they dry for 24 hours. And I will also, do I got both sides here. And I will do the laces too with the iron and a piece of parchment paper. Put a piece of parchment paper down so you don't get anything on your iron, and it won't stick to your iron too. Let's see if I can get the last of this up and use every last bit. I think it just looks fabulous. I don't know if you can, I hope you can see that. Like, look at that. It just like has kind of a watery look, but it's the same color. That makes sense. And we'll let this sit. I'm pretty excited about this. I will post pictures once I'm done, both on YouTube and Facebook if you want to take a look at it, and probably Instagram too. I'll get them all laced up, but I gotta wait till these dry, that's for sure. It's kind of a fun little project to do your tennis shoes. Or if you've got, you know, like an old pair of tennis shoes that are sort of worn out, what a great way to revive them. I'm just going back and I'm putting a little bit more, now that I've got them pretty well covered, just kind of brushing a little bit of the actual paste on here. That one kind of caught some, so that I have like spots of the actual full-on dream car color. So it's not all like light pink. Doesn't look like it, you know, looks intentional. Let's just say that. Just kind of dipping the brush into the ink and giving it a little extra. So see that? It just sort of just gives it a little bit more extra. We always like to be extra over here. And, you know, oops, that was really extra. Since it's dream car pink, you know, the shoes are such bright pink and purple. This is, you gotta just go all the way, go big or go home, right? And if you didn't catch it at the beginning, I did a Trash to Treasure event on Facebook, and I couldn't get it going on YouTube, so I apologize. It's not here too, but please go over to YouTube too, or Facebook, and just like my page. Prairie Scraps is the name on the page, and my name is Dory. I'm in Idaho. If you don't know where Idaho is and you're out of the country, it's in the US. We're in the Pacific West, actually. Just kind of going through and giving it some darker spots because I was pretty light-handed everywhere. Especially like where, oops, that was really heavy-handed. Especially where I'm seeing any of the like lacing, just stains from where it went through the lacing. That just covers it up. Kind of gives it more. All right, we'll turn this over. That side is... We are getting it. I want it to look sort of spotty. I don't want it to be... So I think I'm going to do this technique on my pattern. I think I'm definitely going to try to work at getting... This one could use a little more. Getting a little bit, you know, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it because otherwise I just cannot even use these fabrics because it does look like it just, the paint, the ink leaked through. So you can totally tell that I boo-booed. And so sometimes, you know, crafting doesn't always turn out exactly perfect. It's great therapy, but it is sort of an adventure. So you want to be aware that it's never going to be perfect. There isn't any crafting emergency. It doesn't have to have like exactly, you know, exactly how you imagine it. Sometimes it just turns out differently than what you thought it was going to turn out. And that's okay. Like, go with it. Like I said, sometimes it's an adventure. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And that's definitely, I'm going to try some new things on my um, fabric that I did for embroidery. It was kind of the first time, actually, my daughter was doing it. So maybe it was because she wasn't taking care and gobbing it on pretty bad. So who knows? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I want to try to revive it, keep it, from going to the trash for sure. Trying to reuse. Ooh, that was a lot. Okay. Going with it. And because these are pretty wet, it is spread. I'm noticing even the spots where I kind of put the dark stuff on, the darker pink, it's definitely spreading out a little bit. This is water-based, so it's okay to add water to it to get it to go, a different color. So I'm just going to leave this here and, try to clean up my fingers before I go anywhere because I don't want to get it on any fabric. So, but thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a very blessed weekend. Make sure that you go check out the rest of the channel. Look, I love to take, everyday items and turn them into, fun craft, beautiful decorations and reuse things. It's called Prairie Scraps because I live on the prairie and I like to take the scraps of my life and turn it into something else. So Trash to Treasure is definitely up my alley. So I'm going to get this shut here, get my fingers wiped up a little more, and I'll show you those tennis shoes again with the with the laces in the background so you can see them, see what I've done here. Get as much ink as I can off because any little speck that you get on your clothes or any piece of fabric, you're going to stain. So we don't want to stain the new shoes. Okay, so here's the new look on these old Trash to Treasure shoes. I used a Perfect Purple and Dream Car ink, and I'll just wait for these to dry, and then we will put these laces on. If you saw those laces, can you see them? Aren't those cute? I'm pretty excited. And then here's the other shoe, and they were the reason I decided to do this is because they were dirty, and I did get a little bit of purple right there, but it's going to be okay. So that is my project for the day. I appreciate you coming in. Make sure you have a very blessed day and keep on crafting.